Nelson, 14-year veteran point guard. Jameer Nelson is the unquestioned leader of this team. His words, unquestioned leader. And it struck me funny, Wood, because he's going to be the backup point guard in all probability. Can a backup be the unquestioned leader on a team, any team?
First of all, for $5, there's how many of you? 7? Whoever says this first gets $5 from me. Who drafted Jameer Nelson?
Nuggets.
Well, fuck, I don't have to vote. I'm kidding. I don't have $30.
Edit. Wow. That's correct, by the way. So on that question, you guys did not suck.
$35. Right? Let's see if I have $35.
Yeah, they drafted him 14 years ago, and
$5
they traded him
for the jar too.
They traded him on draft day to the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
I don't. Jameer Nelson is probably going to get, because Emmanuel Mudiay.
I don't think all 7 of you got it.
Emmanuel,
Who didn't get it?
Two guys. Two folks got it. Emmanuel
really?
Mudiay.
It sounded like 5 guys.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm getting out the money. I said $5, so there's $20. So
20? Give him the 5 and let him split it up.
No, I'm giving 20, so they can pay for everybody's parking today.
You must be rich.
No, I have $20 wadded up in my pocket, and 4 more for me.
So Emmanuel Mudiay is, in all probability, going to be the starting point guard. I mean, he was the 7th pick overall, first rounder, and an incredible talent.
Oh, I spent the money. Yep, 10 for you. Whoever. You have to tape it back to. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Jameer Nelson's probably going to get.
I can listen while I'm over here.
He's probably going to get, my guess, 20 to 25 minutes a game. Mudiay will probably get 25 to 30 minutes a game. So Jameer Nelson will be on the court quite a bit. He was on the court quite a bit last year, too, even though Ty Lawson was a starting point guard. So Nelson's going to be on the court, but I'm still wondering. He's still going to be seen. The perception is going to be that he's the backup point guard. Can he be the unquestioned leader of a team as a backup?
Well, let me ask you in return. Who would be the leader of this team? It's not the center.
Yeah.
They don't speak English.
They do have a couple of veterans.
Well, I mean, really. They
do have a couple of veterans that are going to be in the starting lineup.
Fareed.
Danilo Gallinari.
Fareed was supposed to be a leader
Fareed
last
can't
year.
lead. Fareed can't lead. He's not a leader.
He's not a leader.
No,
okay.
Fareed's a selfish guy.
Randy Hoy.
Randy Foy.
Hoy.
If he starts, Wilson Chandler. How about Wilson Chandler? They're paying him a lot of money. Just gave him an extension. He's in all probability going to be in the starting lineup.
I haven't ever seen that out of him since he's been in the league.
He's a pretty quiet guy. He's become more of an extrovert since he signed that extension. He's on Twitter more. He's on Facebook more. We see his quotes in the newspaper a little bit more. Jameer Nelson did a great thing in the offseason. He invited the whole team to his home in Philadelphia, and for a couple, 3 days.
What was great about that? Wouldn't you invite your team to Atlantis?
Like Michael Jordan? Yeah. So they played a lot of basketball for those few days, and they bonded. They went out to eat together. They played tiddlywinks.
I didn't know that.
Threw cards in a hat, whatever. So he took on that role. And he is, again, he's a 14-year guy who's made an all-star appearance. He's averaged 12 points a game in this league. He's been among the assist leaders some years. So he's got the bona fides. The question is, can he lead from the bench, which is where he's going to spend the majority of his time.
Well, if he plays 25 minutes a game, that will be half the game. So it's not the majority.
20 to 25 minutes a game.
Who would you consider the top leaders on the Broncos?
Peyton, certainly.
Let me get it. David Britton Jr., a leader on that team?
No.
Really? He's a captain?
On special teams, yeah. I don't know that I'd call him a leader.
So,
I spend a lot of time in that locker room.
When you say that he plays 20 minutes a game, maybe, at the most, 15 minutes a game, David Britton Jr. is one of the leaders on that team.
Spending more time on the field, certainly, non-special teams.
Chris Harris Jr., would you say he's one of the leaders of the team?
Yeah, I think he takes on that role.
He plays 25 minutes a game.
Well, yeah, but he's out there with the defense the whole time.
Well,
in basketball, guys play offense and defense. In football, they only play one or the other.
John Havlicek was a sixth man. He played half a game. Yeah, he was a leader on the field. I'm just saying, I think that Jameer Nelson, if he wants to take on that role, somebody's got to take it on.
True.
And we can go through J.J. Hickson. I don't even know he's going to be on the team. Somebody's got to take on a leadership role. Do they? Do they have to take on a does a team
Not
need
if you
a
have a
leader?
strong head coach. No. I believe the leadership can come from the coaching staff, from the head coach in particular.
Chauncey Billups.
Because that's what happened when the Nuggets won 57, Woody. They didn't have a player on the floor who was a leader. George Karl was the leader of that team.
But Chauncey Billups was
guy.
a leader. He was late in his career. I would say he played half a game, and Ty Lawson played half a game. And was Andre Miller a leader on this team? And he wasn't playing much at all.
No.
Really?
He was too busy bitching about his playing time.
Well, that was one game. That was one game.
He was also a reserve quite often.
But so is Jameer Nelson.
I don't think Andre
gonna
Miller
be.
was a leader.
But
I'm telling you, George Karl was the leader on that team.
Moutier's ultimately going to be the leader. I think he has the
Personality.
characteristics.
Yeah.
I was going to say pedigree, but we don't know. That's the wrong word. I would say he has the personality, you're right, to be the leader of this team. But I think Jameer Nelson can take Moutier under his wing and be a leader and show Moutier how to be a leader of a team. And I think Jameer Nelson's going to end up playing with Moutier some of the time. Switch them over; they can play together.
Well, you can. Moutier is 6'5". He can play.
Yeah.
He can play defense on a shooting guard.
Yeah, and move him over and have Jameer Nelson. I wouldn't mind that as a starting lineup. I mean, I would maybe put them. I like Jameer Nelson. I've always liked his game. He's not playing to the level he was when he came in the league, as he was the first couple of years. He's a great scorer. He was a guy that really made things happen, and that's fallen off. But I think they were lucky to get him. They got him for